reduce, reuse, recycle. A phrase echoed since the inception of plastic. But how do we reduce if corporations continually produce? How do we reuse when many items are single use? And is recycling the solution to our plastic waste crisis?
The promise of a new day. Plastics take their rightful place in a world at peace. A world dedicated to a richer, fuller life for all.
For decades, the media has promoted plastics as the future of our planet. Through clever marketing campaigns, they've deflected the blame away from corporations and onto consumers instead. According to the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, the Sunshine State produces more than 53 million tons of solid waste per year, almost exceeding the capacity of its current waste management systems. When it comes to plastic waste, Florida is the third highest producer in the nation, generating roughly 65.1 pounds per person annually. Florida's ecosystem is threatened by plastic pollution as it causes adverse effects to the environment, harming its wildlife and leaching toxic chemicals. For many years, the most popular way to address the expanding issue of plastic waste goes back to recycling. Many plastics end up in recycling plants, like this one in South Florida.
This pile right here is from commercial recycling.
Shiraz Kashar is the Community Outreach Manager at WM in Pembroke Pines. This is where the entire recycling process starts, the tipping floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the big challenge in the recycling industry, that people put in garbage in the recycling.
A mountain of trash, including non-recyclable plastics, intermingled together.
So remember what I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that textiles are another thing for whatever reason people put in the recycling. You know, you have carpet like this, you have luggage like this.
Any materials that cannot be processed ends with pricey consequences.
This is designed for cardboard. And the way this works is the cardboard is designed to glide over and everything small falls through. But the issue is, the challenge is, when people put plastic bags or straps or chains or anything wrappable like I explained earlier, then it gets jammed into the equipment. And when it gets jammed into the equipment, it's only a matter of time that it completely brings it down, and then we have an unscheduled shutdown, unfortunately.
Lots of materials end up having to be manually sorted by employees. Computers also contribute to the sorting process by recognizing the various types of plastics that pass through. The end result? A tightly compacted bale, tough as steel.
Well, unfortunately, it's very difficult to recycle all different types of plastics. For your single-stream recycling program, the only plastics that are acceptable are typically number 1 plastics and number 2 plastics, which account for a lot of the different types of material or plastic material that you buy from the market, like plastic water bottles or detergent bottles or shampoo conditioner bottles.
The overproduction of non-recyclable plastics ultimately lowers the efficiency of recycling. The true solution points towards corporations adopting zero-waste practices.
And off the top at 5:30, a plant that converts waste into energy in Doral is still on fire for a second straight day.
The fire leading to concerns about air quality.
Miami-Dade firefighters are working around the clock to put out this massive fire.
A community angry over proposed garbage incinerator too close to their homes.
In February 2023, a massive fire broke out at a Covanta trash incineration plant in Doral, causing water and air contamination in the area. An electrical or mechanical incident started the fire, according to Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. Now, Miami-Dade County is considering 4 potential sites for a new waste-to-energy incinerator. The current Doral site, a filled quarry site in Medley, a site near West Okeechobee Road, and a former airport in Opelika.
Well, obviously, we're concerned for our residents. Our lives are at risk. Our community is at risk. Our water supply is at risk. Our property values are at risk.
At a town hall meeting in September, emotions ran high as residents in the city of Miramar voiced their concerns regarding the proposed site in Opelika, arguing that it is too close to their city.
There's not one good study of an incinerator working out. Causes cancer, causes respiratory abnormalities, and who shows up first with those abnormalities? The children.
Miramar has threatened to sue Miami-Dade County if they plan to move forward with the site.
Oh, we'll fight this all the way to the end.
Roughly 70 miles away from the former Doral plant is the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, a governmental agency dedicated to managing materials discarded by its residents. It's home to 2 of its award-winning waste-to-energy facilities that combust 1.8 million tons of solid waste per year.
So there are multiple issues with regards to the public's perception of waste energy. And one of those is waste energy is often referred to as incineration.
Joe Kilsheimer clarified that incineration is not the same as modern-day waste-to-energy plants.
Many people have a perception of incineration that their perception dates back to the 1980s, when incinerators weren't as efficient in terms of combustion and in terms of emissions control that they are now. Emissions control is one of the most important components of a waste energy facility. Waste energy facilities typically operate not just at their permitted levels, but in some cases 90 to 95% below their permitted levels, which makes waste energy, in the words of the federal EPA, one of the cleanest forms of electricity generation in the United States. What people believe is that Miami-Dade is burning garbage. And burning garbage, just the phrase burning garbage, it doesn't sound good. If the public were aware of all of the precautions and all of the safeguards that are built into the process, I think they would have a little bit of a different opinion.
Only 8% of plastics in Florida get recycled. The rest either gets landfilled or ends up incinerated.
I will state categorically that they would prefer not to burn plastic. Plastic burns hotter than regular garbage, and as a result, plastic makes the emissions control portion of the waste energy facility work harder than they would prefer it to.
Hey, ho, ho! Incinerator has got to go! Hey, ho, ho! Incinerator has got to go!
In late 2024, environmental organizations joined forces to protest the construction of the new incinerator. With the city's final vote only 2 weeks away, tensions were running high.
So I've done extensive life cycle analyses of landfilling versus incineration. These look at not just climate impacts, but asthma, cancer, heart attacks and strokes, all these things caused by different pollutants that come out of incinerators. And what we found is that burning trash and landfilling ash is about 2 to 3 times worse than going straight to the landfill with that trash without burning it first.
Although the EPA requires ash to be chemically treated and disposed of properly, many critics raise concerns about the potential toxicity and environmental impacts. While the challenges towards zero waste seem insurmountable, the solutions are just within reach. Communities and advocates are already paving the way for a future free of plastic waste. Together, we can shape a cleaner, more sustainable future for generations to come.